Hello my friends, it's me Sven from the channel BFD Drives, and welcome to another video about my die-cast model car collection. And here in the background you can already see the 1 to 18 scale model cars that I was recently showing to you, well, 1 week ago from this video, but from yesterday when I was filming it. But without further ado, I want to show you something. Well, so yesterday when I was filming then I also wanted to show you something, or well, I actually mentioned that there's something I want to show you when I was at this particular toy car, the Bone Shaker. So what's about this Bone Shaker? Like this particular model is called. So this one was designed by Larry Wood. Larry Wood has been the designer for certain fantasy castings at Hot Wheels or Mattel. He was working there as a designer from 1969 to 2019. This particular design was something that he has created in 2006, or maybe it has been published in 2006. So it is one of his newer creations. And well, I got to know about the Bone Shaker when playing a PC game or Xbox One game called Forza Horizon 4. And you can drive it and everything, and it's really looking very interesting, this vehicle. And I've also played it on Forza Horizon 5, but I must say the interior or the gear switch animation, which is in Forza Horizon 4 and unfortunately missing in the part 5, was just something very, very cool. And so I became a fan of that, and then in summer, I think it was late summer of 2022, and then I was just thinking, let's take a look about the Bone Shaker. Is it a real Hot Wheels or not? And I was very impressed because it was really a real thing, and I've even seen a very expensive offer for, I don't know, something like 200 euros. It was probably a so-called super treasure hunt. I will also get on this topic very soon. Back then, first I didn't find the thing again. I also didn't want to buy something this expensive. But I found this one here, for example. And what I like is, let me zoom in with my hand. You can notice the old typical wheels, the basic wheels from Hot Wheels. Like I'm also remembering from my childhood. Let me put this back. So. And when talking about my childhood, there's something else what I was buying, because I didn't have it anymore, because my parents or my mom, she did give all of the stuff, all of our toy cars away when we were becoming 16, when we were becoming teenagers and so on, and didn't play with that stuff anymore. So here you can also notice the same type of wheels. This here, by the way, is a Dixie Challenger, also of course designed by the legendary Mr. Hot Wheels, Larry Wood. Let me just zoom in. So here you can see it. And this particular one, by the way, is from 1981. Also on the this way, yeah. So also here stands 1970. And I'm just getting something wrong because I was saying 1971. No, this one was from 1981. So let's turn it around. This here is the so-called Dixie Challenger, well, as it's also standing there. Dixie Challenger! It's kind of like a mixture between a Dodge Challenger, or is it a Charger? I'm always getting these two wrongs. these two wrong. The rear end is seeming more like something like a Ford Mustang. I really like this casting, by the way. The original casting, this stands 1970 on the underbody, but that was for the original version of this casting, which has been the bifocal. So developed in 1970 and release was in 1971. 2 years later, for 1973, there was also the show off. Well, the difference is the bifocal had a clear hood that you also could open to look into the engine bay. Then there was the show off. The show off, if I'm remembering right, was the same casting but without the hood. But I can be wrong about that one. And there was also the Roger Dodger, which came in 1974. The Roger Dodger is something that is still built. Well, of course, a retool, but it had an exposed engine, while this one, as you clearly can see, doesn't have. So this is just the natural thing. The Dixie Challenger was only produced from 1981 to, let me check my notes. Good question. Until 1986, I guess. And then later again, was it this one? From 2008 to 2018? Nah, I don't think it was this one. I can be wrong, but actually it should be this one. Now I have it. Yeah, correct. So this one was made from 1981 to 1986, and then later a retool from 2008 to 2018. So this particular Dixie Challenger is something the current fans of Hot Wheels haven't seen for quite some time. Well, so everything just started with the bone shaker, and then, well, it's not only one thing, and suddenly you are seeing, oh, there's so much more Hot Wheels stuff at Aldi for €1.69, and you're remembering when you're on eBay, these things are going from, if they're cheap, from €2 to, remember, I don't know if I actually told you, but for this one here, I was actually paying €15 plus shipping. And for this particular one, I paid €20 plus shipping. And you can notice it's something, it has some chipped paint, so it was played. And I've seen that this one was even more expensive if you wanted to get it carded, so with the original card, like as in the background, and unopened, then it was for sale for 180 or 230 euros. Well, quite some money, huh? And so of course everything started with the bone shaker, and here in the background you can also see a big bone shaker. I have not yet worked on it. It has 900 pieces. This will take a while to put it together. And so it started. I've just noticed then, hey, these are also collectibles. So for quite some time I didn't understand it. And let me also show you another model from my childhood. Well, also of course bought once again, but this one was cheap. I was getting this one for €1 plus shipping. I've bought some more stuff, and so I've got this one as well. Also, it has some chipped paint and so on. It's a Ford Thunderbird. What model is it? 57? Yep, the 57 from 1982. At least it stands a copyright, but I'm thinking this one was a little bit a later release, because back in my childhood we didn't have red painted taillights. But that's also the difference from the models from nowadays and to back then. Nowadays there are so many more details, and like I wanted to tell you, at the beginning I wasn't understanding why people are collecting it. It are toy cars, and maybe some people are also still thinking, Sven, why the heck are you collecting toy cars? These other cars are much more interesting with all the details. And of course in this scale you can also find very well detailed models, such as, well, let me zoom out. This thing here from Greenlight. I'm thinking this one costs around €20 here in Germany. It is the GMC Sierra or K2500 from the TV series Fall Guy. So when what was his name? Lee Majors was what was he called? Let me think. Colt Sievers, yeah. Colt Sievers has been his name. So here you can notice the thing is much more detailed. So also with fragile parts, so you're not going to play with it like a child. And when talking about playing, so let me put this bone shaker here on the turntable. So as a child I was playing like this. Yeah, or kind of kind of like this. Nowadays I'm playing it on video games like as Forza Horizon 4 and Forza Horizon 5, which is of course looking way different than how I did play as a child. But anyway, I just started with that, with collecting Hot Wheels, because these are pretty cheap. You can get them for €1.69 at Aldi, at least here in Germany, and I could sell it for profit, to be honest. I mean, only if I'm not registering a business and just doing it as a private sale, of course. But then there's of course also a difference about if you want to sell it, for example, loose. Of course, you're getting less money, maybe €1 to €2. While if it's carded, like this one, I mean, this particular model I've seen, this is going for around €2 to €4. And there's also something, I can also zoom out a little bit. So, and there's also something else what I didn't know, and then finally I understood why people are collecting these Hot Wheels, because there's always this so-called hunt for treasure hunts and super treasure hunts, which are just more rare, because this one here in this color, that's something you can find in the stores for around let's say a month, and then it's gone. Then maybe you can find a recolor. Just let me show you here, for example, a recolor. This is the same thing with the same livery, but in a maroon color. And then there's something else, such as this one here, a white one, different livery. But well, the special thing is, this by the way is also a so-called short card, while we have here the long card. The long card is usually in the United States of America. So of course here in Europe, most wanted. Then people want to pay more than here, but in the United States it's just the opposite. And well, something special about this model, well, it's a little bit difficult to see because here the short cards aren't showing it so clearly. But here you can maybe see this little silver flame symbol. This means this is a so-called treasure hunt. The treasure hunt is even more rare. So when there's one case per month, I'm thinking there are a little bit more than one. But this means to find this in a case is just more difficult. So if you find one, then you can be lucky. And this is of course worth more. I mean, I was checking about this particular one, and this is just around the double, so around 4 to 8 euros. If it's from another car, from a real car, then the prices are of course higher than that. But yeah, it's just like it is. And so I started to collect Hot Wheels, but not because I wanted to sell the stuff, because I'm keeping everything. But I found it just very interesting, because of this bone shaker. And then if you're seeing these cheap models and you're not really losing money, to be honest. So yeah, why not? I mean, I'm paying something like as €100 for one of these bigger 1 to 18 scaled model cars. and these are actually losing most likely money. There are just a few that gained value. And well, actually I also have something else that I was getting in 2021 as an April Fool's joke when I was starting to show my my die-cast collection. And then I was thinking, hey, yeah, come on, get this one, because I was also finding this suddenly and I was like, oh, cool. It's kind of the tuned cars from Hot Wheels, but this one here is much older. This is Fiat 127 from Polysteel. So I'm not limited to Hot Wheels. I also have, yeah, of course, something else. So Matchbox, as you can also notice in the background. So when I am just zooming out again, so here you're seeing the orange thingy. That is of course a Matchbox. And well, it's not only Matchbox. Here's a little Beetle, and here's a little microbus from Majorette. So yeah, suddenly we have something else and you find it really cool. So I'm also a little bit crazy about cars. I'm really a petrol head from the deepest heart. I'm only saying a little bit. Actually, I'm a big bit crazy about cars. Well, there are machines with faces, mean faces or happy faces and so on. And yeah, I like cars since my childhood, since I was sitting on the lap of my dad in his Beetle, and I was steering the little Beetle out into the yard when he was driving it out. Probably he did also steer it, and I was just thinking I'm steering it. But well, this was the start of my love about cars. And so yeah, well, so just a few years ago my love about toy cars started. And of course it's easier to collect these than the big ones, because this is not taking lots of space. So yeah, so that's my story about how I got into the die-cast collecting world of these toy cars, especially of Hot Wheels, and just giving you a little information about what's so special about Hot Wheels, because a lot of people don't understand it, and I just want to let you know. If you still don't like me when I'm showing toy cars, then yeah, I don't care actually. If you like it, give me a thumb up. Well, it's maybe easier this way. Thumb up. If you don't like it, yeah, you can do that. I don't really care. But anyway, of course I prefer if you're giving the thumb up. And don't forget to subscribe and so on. Like, subscribe and comment. Yeah. So anyway, that's all. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this video interesting. So see you next time. Bye bye.